All right, New Zealand CAD, July 31st, Monday. Looking at this, it's in this day right here. The overview is a pretty clear downtrend, downward movement, making new lows all the way. We had this nice, after this breach and this new low, we had this nice slow pullback. Refresh, got the buyers interested in this area, and then broke down with volume, broke below and made new lows. Now on this current day, we're pulling back to this area. Sellers tried again, couldn't, then the buyers took over, headed back up to this trap, and also low volume all the way up. So that is good. So we had a high volume break, low volume pullback. So I like that. So next thing to do is jump up to my 4 hours and just see what it looks like on the bigger picture. We had this uptrend going on, and then the guy who started this push, I mean, you could say that these guys started these little pushes, but just the big swings. We had an attempt for the buys here at this S&R area. Buys attempted, which on the 4 hour looks like some volume, but there's always volume on the 4 hour. And then we had this break below, so potentially there was a trap here on the 4 hours. We made a new low, pulled back, and then back to the 1 hour. We had this other trap here, so we have a trap under a trap, coming back up to that trap. So jump it down to my 15 minutes here. Well, let me jump back to my 1 hour. Sorry. On the hourly, we have this low volume pullback coming in. It didn't reach this trap area, but it did reach this breach line. And then it started to react. No volume to speak of on that first initial reaction, so little concern there. It seems like it reacted, stopped around these spots right here and started to try to buy again, but we see all these wicks. The buys weren't working out. Approaching New York open right about here in New York. FX opens at 7 my time. So what I'm seeing on this is we had the low volume pullback. This last guy who started came back to him to see what he wanted, to see his attempt. 1, 2, 3 legs. He attempted to go, nothing, just grinding, potentially just a range here. And as he was not able to make anything with all these wicks, New York just opened. Decided to take an entry slightly after New York opened on this small pullback on the lower time frame. What ended up happening on a lower time frame was so I actually took an entry right here as this was coming back, and as it just started to reject, I took my entry. Actually, I took the entry up here, but my spreads are so wide on a Wanda that it places it down here. It started to go, and then it rejected pretty quickly, right around 7:30. And that worried me, so I actually closed my position, almost a full R close. And then I just kept watching, thinking maybe this was just kind of a stop punt. Didn't really go for higher spots. As it started to reject back, I went ahead and jumped back in for the sells. And they did go. This was my target. Well, actually, my main target was this purple line. I was thinking it could go down to there, but watching this guy who started area to really see, and that should be around 2R if it played out. So it actually did play out now, and that's why, yeah, my target was down here for the big 5R. That's why I didn't close out right here. But what it did end up doing, it pulled back pretty quickly. And I was watching it even on a lower time frame. I went down to the 1 minute to just kind of watch it. That's what this little guy who started this push down was, and that was a trap on the 1 minute for the sellers. So I was wanting to see how they reacted to this potential trap area. I ended up closing 50% on this candle here as it rejected back from this little 1 minute trap. And then, but it never took out this guy who started. Let me go down to the 1 minute. All right, so real quick, back on the down on the 1 minute, I was kind of watching this for exits, and yes, this did pull back quite a bit. Probably could have just exited here in this area after the buyers showed that they wanted to try again. But I didn't, so I was looking at this area. It just kind of was holding here, so I was hoping it would go back down, and it did. So that's why I drew this as kind of the guy who started, waiting to see how it would react at this potential buy trap area. And as it wasn't going through, I closed out 50% in this area. I think it turned out to be here with the spreads, or here. But I didn't want to close it all because we still potentially needed to take out this guy before it wanted to turn around. So I just kind of let it grind on as it seemed to come up and test this guy who started this move down. It seemed like it was going good, but then it rejected back, so I closed here. Total on this was about break even, because I almost took a full loss here, and then about a 1 R gain from closing these out. So I think in hindsight, I could have simply just closed it out here for, if I would have closed out in this area, I could have got 2 R out of it, not have to mess with all this. Just saw, this guy who started area and used that as my target. And then just back up on the 15-minute, the trade just ranged here for a while. Nice money spot area into Frankfurt and London, and then made a new low from these guys. Not from this guy, but we did break below this nice range hold, and then potentially pulled back here. I was looking at this the next day for potential sells, where we had this break through this pullback, this potential trap right here on the lower time frame, and then a test back. I didn't take it. The trade would have worked out to here, and then I saw the turnaround and almost took this trade for the buys again, but didn't. Just kind of marked it, and that would have worked out. So a couple of trades there that I didn't get in that could have worked out pretty good in my favor. But anyways, and this trade ended up playing out. Now we're at these lows right here, testing them to see if we can break through. So that is the trade. Sorry for the long video. If anybody sees anything I missed or would like to comment, please do so. Thank you.